in this video, I'll be demonstrating you the event bubbling and event capturing, which we have discussed just now, right? So we'll mock or we'll create a small component which has different div elements, and I'll show you how the event is getting captured and event is getting bubbled out, and how can you catch those events in both the capturing and bubbling phase, right? So by default in React, everything is in bubbling phase. Okay, so if you want to capture an event, how to do that and how to attach event handler on the first place, let's see that. Okay, so I'm creating a component constant on click demo component. Okay, on click demo component, and this component is going to return some HTML content. Okay, so I'll try to create a hierarchical box model so that how we can understand how the event is getting captured and how the event is getting bubbled. So okay, so first I'll have one div element, so I'll add inline styling to this, right? So this is how you do the inline styling. First, style as a prop, okay, and then since you are writing HTML, since you are writing JavaScript inside HTML, you do the parenthesis, you do the flowers, and then the normal CSS, which is you are passing as an object, right? So everything will be camel casing in React. It is a blind thing, you can remember. And now I'll add background color as what I can say, background color as blue, okay, and some padding as 25 pixels. So if I don't mention anything, 25, it is 25 pixels by default. Okay, so let me import that component over here. So instead of main component, I'll do on click demo component, right? And let me add a h1 tag which says on click demo component, right? Now if I see my browser, I have one blue element, blue div. Okay, let me restrict the viewport of this component so that maximum width is in the visual element, visual aid, right? So style, now max width. So again, see max width, again I'm putting it in the camel casing. So in React everything is in camel casing, so I'm restricting it to 720 pixels. And also margin, I'm putting it as auto so that it comes in the center, right? So all the sides margin is equal. Now if I look into my browser, I'd see something of this sort, right? So I'll add one more div inside this, right? So I'll add div directly. So this is shortcut to add div element. So this div element doesn't really have any of the children inside it, or technically we should have a children. So let me add another div, and I'm adding the styling property same, but I'll add a different background color so that I can differentiate. Here I'll put it as yellow, some bright colors, right? So yellow, right? And similarly I'll add another div, and this will have the padding as 25, but the background color to be green, right? And I can see this. So I can increase the padding a bit. So I'm doubling the padding so that you will get to see each box a bit larger way, right? And the last div, that is, so here I can use the shortcut notation. This won't have any child, so style will be, here I will add the curl purple, or I can technically add white or red. Okay, so again the padding is 50. So here now I have defined 4 div elements, one inside the another, last one being the one with the background color red. So you can see this is the box created. So now I will explain, or I'll showcase you how the event is getting captured and how the event is getting bubbled, right? First of all, you need to catch the on click event, right? So first I'm placing the on click event handler. So how do you place that? So you just add it as a prop on click, okay, is equal to, I'm writing an inline function. Okay, I'm writing an inline function. So how do I do that? I'm writing a arrow function, okay, arrow function, and this says console.log red box clicked. Okay, this is nothing but red box clicked, right? So if I now go to my web page, right? If I go to my web page and I click on it, so see, a red box is clicked, right? But as I said, the event is propagating, so I'm clicking on the red box, so only red box should emit the event, right? But my statements of that every event in JavaScript is bubbled out, so let me add that one as well. So I'm adding a on click event handler over here as well. So it is very simple. On click on the left side, which event you are attaching, and on the right side in the flower brackets you just give the function which needs to be executed, right? So this here I'll be putting as console.log green box clicked. So technically I'm clicking on the red box, but as the word event bubbling or event capturing is happening, this on click event handler is called. But by default, all the events in the Java React are bubbled out. So it means first the event happens. So when you assign the on click, it means you are assigning the event handler on the bubbling phase. Okay. So first red box clicked will occur and then green box clicked, because in the bubbling phase it travels from the target to the top, right? So let me show that. I'm clearing it out. See, red box clicked and then green box is clicked. When I click on the green box, so see, only green box is clicked. So it moves from green box to yellow box, right? So if I'll add all of these event handlers on all the div elements, all the div elements, right? So yellow box clicked and blue box clicked, right? So in the bubbling phase, what will happen? Right? In the bubbling phase, the order of events is red box, next green box, because it travels from the bottom to the top. Green box, yellow box, and blue box. So from the child to the parent, right? And let me add a on click event handler over here. So on click demo component is a child one, right? So let's see what if I add on click event handler over here. So I'll just console.log as main component clicked. Okay. So now if I go here and reload the page, right? I'm clicking on the red box. So see, red box clicked, green box clicked, yellow box clicked over here, blue box clicked, and the main component. So it reached till the top and it is going on to the top till the HTML tag. So if I assign a on click event handler over here, it's not allowing me to edit. On click, and I'll try to write a function over here, console.log HTML body is clicked, right? So I edited it inline, and if I see, no, it's not allowing me to add the content over there, but it's fine. So when I click on the red box, the event has been bubbled out from the red box to the green, green to yellow, yellow to blue, and blue to the main component. Now this is the bubbling phase. So in the bubbling phase, the journey is in from bottom to top. Now let's say you want to capture the event. So you want to capture. So first phase is capture phase, and then the bubbling phase. So it is your choice when to capture the event or when to attach the event handler, right? So in that sense, let me show you how to add or how to capture the event or how to attach event handler on the capture phase. So it is as simple as on click capture. So on click capture. Now console.log blue box captured. So I'm attaching the on click capture. So even when the red box is clicked, the event will be started from the parent to the red box, right? That is the target. So I'm just adding on the capture on the blue box. So now let me show you what happens. So I'm clicking on the red box. So see, first the blue box captured has appeared, right? I'm clicking on the green box. So it means the event capturization starts always from the parent. So blue box captured, yellow, blue box captured. And now when I'm clicking on the blue box itself, so see, blue box captured, blue box clicked, and main component clicked. So capturing phase to bubbling phase. Now let me add different scenarios. Okay, I'm capturing the event on all the phases, all the div elements. Okay, let me change the text. Yellow box captured, green box captured, red box captured, and right, and I'll add the on capture phase for the main component as well. Main component captured, right? So now if I see the journey, capturing phase, right? So in the capturing phase, it always starts from the main component, then blue box, then yellow box, then green box, then red box. So what happens? What is the order of console.logs I will see when I click on the red box? When I click on the red box, first all the events are captured. Main component captured, blue box captured, yellow box captured, green box captured, red box captured. Once the capturing phase is over, now it starts bubbling up. Then red box clicked, green box clicked, yellow box clicked, blue box clicked, main component clicked. So let me change the text clicked to bubbled. Maybe it will make more sense. Bubbled, right? So captured and bubble, right? So now let me show you, right? So I'm clicking on the red box. Now what will happen? From the top, from the main component, blue, yellow, green, red, green, yellow, blue, main. See, main, blue, yellow, green, red, all in the captured. Now red box again bubbled, green box bubbled, yellow box bubbled, blue box bubbled, main component bubbled. So that is how it is traveling, right? Now let me ask you a question. What happens? What are the series of console.logs you see when I click on the yellow box? Okay, think for a minute and come up with the answer, right? So yes, so when I'm clicking on the yellow box, what is main component captured, blue box captured, yellow box captured, then you will see yellow box bubble, blue box bubble, and main component bubble. So this is how the journey is happening in any React click event or any event there comes. So it is always captured and then bubbled up. So for capturing the attaching event handler on the capture phase, you just do on click capture, and on the bubbling phase, which is the by default case, that is on click bubble, right? Now what we will do is we will add an input field. Okay, we'll add an input field. So input, and for input, what is the event type which gets emitted when we type the value? That is on change, right? So on change is equal to, right, console.log input element changed. Okay, and this is bubbling. Input element changed in bubbling, right? So now, since it is an on change event handler, on change event, no other on click or on capture will respond because nobody attached the event handler for there, right? Now let me show you. Okay, it looks a bit weird. Let me add it inside, right? So I am adding it inside the div, so it looks a bit cleaner, right? So the input element is inside the red box. Now I am typing. Okay, so I am typing some this is not a click, it is I'm typing, I'm looking at the typing. So click, so see, input element is changed in the bottom. Input element is changed, is bubbling, but the input element on change event handler is not bubbled or captured by any of the other entities, other div elements, right? So see, on change is just over here. So on click and on click capture will respond only to their type of events, and on change event is bubbled. Since there are no event handlers attached, it means there is no capturing or bubbling happening on the on change. So let me add on change for all of these. Red box changed in bubbling, right? So let me give the space. Yeah, so on change, I'll similarly assign all of these green box and yellow box and blue box. Okay, now when I type, so see, red box change in bubbling, green box change in bubbling, yellow box. So the same thing. So whenever you attach the respective event handlers, those type of events are handled and you get to see the console.logs, right? But one thing is that on every event which gets emitted, right? On every event which gets emitted, there is an event object which is passed as an argument to the event handler, that is E, and to access what, so basically people performs, right? When the username exceeds 8, it says, okay, something is wrong. I mean, you don't have, your username shouldn't exceed 8 letters. So let's implement that kind of situation over here, right? So to access that, what I can do is, so I'm trying to access read the value inside the input element during runtime. So how do I read that? So if e dot target dot value, so this is where I receive the input, the text which I'm entering in the input field. Let me remove all of these event handlers which are not needed now. Okay, so now let's focus on how to handle the events and how you can capture the data and how you can validate it, right? And okay, let me show you one more thing in terms of this, right? So Yes. So blue box. So if you want to stop the propagation from one place to another place, right? So let's say when the red box is clicked. So when the red box is clicked, I want to stop the propagation, right? So then in that case, what I can do is I can simply call the function e dot stop propagation. That's it. So now what will happen is whenever in the bubbling phase, the event starts at the target element, it is not propagated to the upper elements. So see, now I'm clicking over here and refreshing the page, right? So since I stopped the propagation, right? So in the bubbling phase, only red box bubble is seen, not any other. So that is very important. So if you don't want to bug the event to travel all the way up, because why? It is traveling, it means it is taking some memory and it is utilizing the resources. So if you know that you want to stop the propagation at that point, then you can use the function e.stop propagation. And similarly, in the capturing phase, if you want to stop, then what you can do? You can again use the same e dot. So every event handler receives this event object as argument, and yeah. So now I'm stopping the propagation in capturing phase and stopping the propagation in the bubbling phase. So see, okay, 1 second. So if I want to stop the event in the capturing phase, I have to implement that event.stop propagation in the on-click capture, right? So let me do that. E.stop propagation, right? And console.log. So this event will be captured over here, and then it is not moving on to the next event handlers, right? So if I click on the red box, only main component, because that is the topmost component, I can even stop the propagation over here itself, right? That is e.stop propagation and main component captured, right? So I don't even have to stop the propagation over here, and now the propagation is also stopped at the root element itself. So it really will have some bad effects because all your website is generating a lot of events, right? So now when I'm clicking on the red box, only main component is captured, right? So it has been stopped over there, right? So yeah, now let's start understanding how you can deal with the input fields and how you can validate the data, how you can capture the data during the runtime of the application. Let me remove all of these event handlers, right? So yeah, so on change. Now what I'll do is if e dot target dot value, so this is where I see my input field. So let me console.log first, console.log e.target.value. Okay. And also let me console.log what is e.target object, right? So I'll remove all other event handlers. Now let's focus on the on change and what will happen to it, right? So I refresh the page and I click on it and I change some value. So see, whenever I'm changing, so the on change event is getting fired, and e.target is technically the input field. So the target is technically the input field, and e.target.value is the value which I am entering, right? So if I just console.log entire e object, console.log enter e object and I enter some value, right? So see, e object is this base synthetic event, okay, and by default it has all of these properties: bubbles, cancels, cancelable, default prevented, and see, target is the input, and inside the target you have value, whatever value you are entering, and the value which currently has in the input field is VAS, right? Similarly, you have rest all properties of that input field, etc. Right? So if you want, if the input field is of type files, so you'll have the list of files over here, everything. So you have access to the input field, whatever it is, right? And now, so whenever I'm changing, whenever the onChange event is handled, I'm getting the updated value to my e.target.value, right? So now let me show you. e.target.value dot length is greater than 4. Then what I'll do, I'll give an alert message. String length is too large. So when the number of characters inside the element increases by length 4, then it automatically shows an alert message. That is what we see in the normal forms, right? So if I show you now, let me refresh it, right? So I'm typing. So see, as soon as the length of string increased by 4, we got this error message: string length is too large. So this is how you control in the real time. So see, I was just typing randomly and suddenly I got this. That's it. So you can deal with the events very cool. I mean, you assign the event handlers and you play around with a lot. Okay, so that is very important. And in case of class-based components, one thing which you need to remember is that, so let's say if this component is a class-based component, let me convert it into class-based component, right? So I'm converting it into class-based extends react.component, and render method should return this content. Okay, render method should return this content. And how do you attach the event handler? So let's say I want to attach the event handler. Right now I have defined an inline function. Maybe your function has a lot of logic to submit the backend code, validate the backend response and all. So how do you attach the event handler? Is in the class-based components, there are two cases, two things which you need to remember. First thing is, let's say onChange handler. I'm defining a function onChange handler, and this function does nothing. It checks if e dot target dot value is dot length is greater than 4, then it shows an alert message, some kind of logic, whatever logic is dependent. Then string is too large. Okay, the first case. So if you directly attach this event handler like this dot onChange event handler, let's see what is going to happen, right? So yes, so this dot onChange event handler is now working as expected. Okay, so I'm just entering the text. So in the other way of executing the thing, I mean the other way of attaching the event handler in the class-based components is you define an event handler and then you assign this dot onChange handler, right? And if you want to pass any arguments, right? Let's say I have two input fields now, right? Two input fields. This is of type email, and this is of type name, right? So I want to add both the same input handler. So I want to handle both of these with the same input handler. So basically in that case, I need to differentiate during the runtime, what element it is, right? What element it is. So in both of these cases, I'm calling the same onChange event handler, but now I have to pass an extra argument saying that this is email, and this is text type, right? So in that cases, I can say, I can pass an extra argument. Okay, I can define an arrow function, and now I am passing an extra argument. That is, first you will receive the E object. Along with E, now you are passing the E object and also the type as email. So E and text, right? So now what happens? The onChange event handler will get two arguments, that is type. So if I just console.log, where is the event getting triggered from, I can see, right? So since both of these are attached to the same event handler. So the point here is how to pass arguments to the event handler. So one way is you define an arrow function inside and you capture it first, and then you call the onChange event handler, right? So if you now see two input fields, right? All these are emails and all these are text. So these are the most important things which you need to keep in mind, guys, regarding the event handlers, and we'll see a lot of them being used in different types of applications. So having a strong grip on entire events is very great advantage. And always remember that in React, the events are bubbled out, and to capture it in any capture phase, you use the onClick capture keyword explicitly, right?